Y'all, this is Chris again at iGrind.com with yet another tutorial. This tutorial, I'm going to teach y'all how to create session templates inside of Pro Tools. And session templates are really helpful because if you're like me, you're a songwriter, and you basically use the same plugins, you use the same setup every time, you create a template so where when you open that template, everything is there already. You don't have to add plugins. It's exactly like you like it. So we're going to start out by first getting into Pro Tools and creating a new session. And, you know, I use 48K sample rate. Sometimes I use 96 depending on how I want it to sound. But it's just, we'll call this one, let's call this template. Let's call it template 2. And as you can see, Pro Tools builds a session, and it's a blank session. And at this point in time, you just begin to populate your session, excuse me. If you want, you know, say you want 4 mono tracks and you want 4, let's say, stereo audio tracks, you change that to stereo. And say you want 4 auxiliary tracks, make those auxiliary tracks. And say you want 4 MIDI tracks, and change that to MIDI. And let's create 1 master fader, stereo, of course. And let's just for the sake of fun, let's create some instrument tracks. Let's make them stereo. Let's create 2 instrument tracks. And press enter. Of course, Pro Tools populates that with everything you asked for, as you can see it. And as you can see, my session template is color coded automatically. You can change the color to anything you want, but it'll be what it is every time you open this particular template. And, you know, I generally like to expand my transport toolbar, and because I like to see everything. And you just basically set up the session like you want to see it. If you got plugins that you use all the time, you put them in there in your plugins. If you got routes, auxiliary routes that you use, you create your auxiliary routes, and you know, put the sends in the correct places and everything. You create the session like you want to see it every time. And once you've gotten everything like you want it, you then go to up here to File, Save as Template. When you save as template, it's going to ask you what category do you want this template at. If you add a category, you can name this category let's call it Acoustic Soul. Let's call it, you know, something easy. Let's call it acapella. Like I ever do an acapella template. But you call it acapella, and you say this is template 1 in the acapella category. You press OK. And right now that session is a template. So you can close completely out of Pro Tools, as we have. You can quit Pro Tools completely and open it back up. And the great thing about when you open it back up, the quick start menu will come up once it goes through all its loading. And when your quick start menu comes up, you'll see your template there. So if you go down to create session from template, I can go to the categories. I can go to acapella, template 1. And when I open it, at this point, you can name the song whatever new song it is. So if the song 1, you just name it song 1. When you open it, voila, the session template is exactly like you had it when you created it. And if you decide you wanted more tracks, more auxiliary tracks, you can go back to the session template, create those tracks, then resave it as a new session template, and then go through the same process again. And that's how you create session templates inside of Pro Tools. Glad y'all stayed with me. Y'all come back to iGrind for more tutorials and more things in the future. We grind, baby. Holla.